Behold, speak thou in the ears of my people the words of prophecy, which I will put in thy mouth, saith the Lord. 2 Ezra chapter 15, verse 1. First of all, I'd like to give all praise to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Brakatahow, Brakatahow Shai, Brakatahow, Brakatahow Shai, Brakatahow, Brakatahow Shai, the water above Babal called Kadash. I'd like to give double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone that teaches this truth, the 100% truth, the true word of our Lord. He said, Behold, speak thou in the ears of our people the words of prophecy, which I will put in thy mouth, saith the Lord. And the men of the Lord are here to preach the word of the Lord, man, giving those dark sayings, those breakdowns, so we can understand what the Lord is trying to convey to his people, mainly the elect, Verse 2, and cause them to be written in paper, for they are faithful and true. Fear not the imaginations against thee. Let not the incredulity of them trouble thee that speak against thee. And what's the incredulity? That's people who do not believe. When you look that word up, incredulity means people do not believe. And so they're going to mock you. They're going to, they say that you're some type of conspiracy theorist, or you don't believe in, you're not pretty much out your mind, because you believe in we're going to have salvation through the chariots, that's going to gather the people, Israel being the chosen people. So that, our people, that's foreign to them. So they look at you like you're crazy, because they've been so indoctrinated into this Roman Catholic Church, what they've been teaching them for so long, they can't see anything outside of that. They can't see themselves outside of being slaves, basically. So let me go to the book of Matthew, chapter 24, verse 19. And woe to them that are with child, and to them that are sick in those days. And what days is it talking about? It's talking about a time of Jacob's trouble, when all hell's going to break loose. And right now, that President Donald Trump just passed a law where they're going to digitalize the system, the money system. And it's going to be like a CBD system, CBD, central bank digital currency, CBDC, but they rebranded it and gave it a new name. I think they call it stable coin, but it's pretty much the same thing, man. It's just another tricks, man, of the devil. They repainted it, rebranded, and gave it a new name. And all that it is just a Trojan horse for them to put you in perpetual slavery. And that's all it is a Trojan horse to take away more of your rights. And that way they can have more control. It's all about control at this point, because they have all the money and all the wealth. It's just about controlling you jakes, man. And them trying to maintain and stay in power. Because they know these prophecies, man. They know that the Lord has already prophesied for them to bring on the MOTV. So how do they do it? They're still going to try to offset it. They're going to still try to convince you jakes to go out here and take that MOTV. Behold, saith the Lord, I will, Shalakia, verse 20, St. Matthew chapter 24, verse 20. But pray ye that your flight be not in the winter, neither on the Sabbath day. For then shall great tribulation such as was not since the beginning of the world to this time, no, nor ever shall be. So you thought that was bad during the time of 70 AD, when, you read up on that during that time, when they came and took over our homeland, and the things that they put us through, well, that's going to pale in comparison to what is about to unfold, man. And for them to bring in this new system, they gotta crash the system. One way they're going to do it, they're going to create an insurrection. They're trying to rile up the people, get the economy to collapse. And one way they're going to collapse the economy is by having all type of turmoil and chaos. And then they're going to bring you back in up under this new system to bring order. In order to bring order, you're going to have to surrender all your rights in order to be able to buy, sell, or eat. And except in those days should be shortened, there should no flesh be saved. But for the elect's sake, those days shall be shortened. And that's why you see time is speeding up during this time, man, because the devil has definitely turned loose. He knows this time is running short. He's unleashed a lot of these new policies, these new things that's going to try to destroy you. You know, the food and everything, all these other things are attacking you, attacking our people. And so that's why the Lord is speeding up the time, man. Because if not, it won't be anybody left. So let's go back to 2nd Ezra chapter 15. Behold, saith the Lord Yahweh, I will bring plagues upon the world, the sword, famine, death, and destruction. That hasn't happened yet, but we're heading into it. For wickedness hath exceedingly polluted the whole earth, and their hurtful works are fulfilled. Therefore saith the Lord Yahweh, I will hold my tongue no more as touching their wickedness, which they profanely commit, neither will I suffer them in those things in which they wickedly exercise themselves. Behold, the innocent and the righteous blood crieth unto me, and the souls of the just complain continually. As we cry out to the Lord, man, we see all this wickedness is going on, how these devils are ruling in, how they're ruling the earth, man. Look what they're doing over there in Haiti. Got them, constantly in turmoil, fighting and killing each other, so that they can go in there and steal all the resources, man. And same as here, man. They put the one that organized these gangs, man, that we have here in Babylon the Great. They're behind this gang culture and this killing and stuff that's going on. Everywhere this devil has, operate throughout the earth, he's created nothing but chaos and confusion and destruction, and mainly to the Israelite people, you so-called Black, Hispanics, and Native Americans. The Lord's verse 8, the Lord said, I will hold my tongue no more as touching their wickedness, which they profanely commit, neither will I suffer them in those things in which they wickedly exercise themselves. Behold, the innocent and the righteous blood crieth unto me, the souls of the just complain continually. And therefore said the Lord Yahweh, I will surely avenge them, and receive unto me as the innocent blood from among them. Behold, my people is led as a flock to the slaughter. I will not suffer them now to dwell in the land of Egypt. And it's talking about modern day Egypt, here in Babylon the Great. And like I said, down in Haiti, man, I was watching a documentary on that last night, and man, it's just it's chaos down there, man. You got these warriors, man, which they are the tribe of Levi, these warriors, but they can't fight their way out of it, man. The oligarchs, the ruling parties, which is really the small hatters, they sending their guns, they got the gangs fighting and killing off each other. And they can't see no way out of it. The Haitian people, or the Levi, they want to try to maintain their land, but they don't have a fighting chance, because this devil has totally corrupted the whole place, man. And only thing that's going to save Israel is going to be Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua. We're not going to be able to do it. Same as it was, the Haiti during that time when they got their freedom, way back in the 1800s. It's not going to happen again. These devils have such a tight grip on that place and on everything, even here in Babylon the Great, man. We're not going to be able to free ourselves. We're like worms, man. We have no defense. Some jakes have their guns and little weapons, what they have, man. It's nothing compared to the policy and the trickery that Esau Edom has used. He's going to he'll have you use your own people to wipe you out. So, and that's what we're facing, man. But that's why we call on the spiritual power. We are spiritual beings, man. We're not carnal, and that's what we call on the power, Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua, same as it was in the time of the Maccabees, even though they had a small force, but they were able to defeat those armies, man, by the power of our Lord, same as King David, and so on, all throughout history of our people. So we are not a carnal people, we are spiritual people. But this time Yahushua is going to bring the angels, and they're going to come in and put in the work. And then some of us going to get these spiritual gifts, and we're going to be able to help assist. Lord will, man, we'll be one of them. Let me go to the book of Zechariah, chapter 14. For I will gather the nations against Jerusalem to battle, and the cities shall be taken, and the houses rifled, and women ravished. And half of the cities shall go forth in captivity, and the residue of the people shall be cut off from the city. And the most important part to pay attention there, the houses are going to be rifled. That means they're going to sack the houses, man. They're going to be stealing everything, all your resources out of there, because there's going to be gangs out here. Like in you look at the zombie movie. What's that zombie movie that was out? Series that was out recently. You know, what's the name of the series? Well, I can't think of it right now, but you always see these pack of gangs. You know, when society collapse, they go out there and they start, taking things from out of houses. You know, you have food, medicines, those things that are vital. They come in there, they're going to take it. And so when society collapses, you can't call 911. What you think is going to happen to these single women out here? Especially you Israelite women, you Jake women, man. Because Esau has pumped in your head that, through this feminism crap, that you believe that you don't need a man, you're better than a man. But what you think is going to happen when all hell break loose and chaos break loose, man? And our women are so proud, man. They don't want to hear it. You preach this to them, or you tell them what's happened, how they being set up. Us in this truth, we can see that plainly, man, through the spirit. But these women, they can't see it. They're so stuck on their pride, man, that they don't want to be submitting to a man, even if it's a man of the Lord, a true man of the Lord. And they submit to their pastors, man, in these Roman Catholic churches and whatever, that's ran by the Roman Catholic Church and these Baptist churches. But they won't submit to their man, especially he was the man of the Lord. So they gotta, they're gonna be ravished, as the Bible tells us, man. They're gonna be ravished. Ravished means they're gonna be ran through. Let me look that word up, ravished, man. Let me look it up. So the woman's gonna be ravished. Like I said, I was watching a documentary in Haiti, man. Haitians got some strong women, but you think them women got to stand a chance with all that chaos that's going down there? They running through those women, man. They are gang raping those women, by the packs, young boys, young kids, whatever. They run through them. So how do women think that they're going to be able to hold up in this time when shit break loose? They're going to be greatly ravished. Slakia. What does it mean when someone is ravished? Overcome with intense feelings while listening to it. If you are ravished overcome by physical assault, especially sexual assault, and is still sometimes used. What does ravishing a person mean? Extremely? No, that's not. To besiege or carry off someone by force, assume as an infant or child. There's somebody that has no defenses. You pretty much, you are left defenseless. They're going to be ran through. These women are going to be ran through, man. They're going to be used for all type of sexual purposes without, their consent, without giving consent. And so they've been set up for a hard fall, man, because in society, Esau puts the women over the man. And that's done on purpose. That's done on purpose to help destroy the foundation of our people, of our community. And once they destroy the foundation, they got this pride going with them that they think that they can just call 911 and everything's going to be all right. They're proud, and that proud spirit, man, is going to be their destruction. So majority of the 2/3 going to be destroyed is going to be you nigger women, man, because you refuse to submit to obedience to our Lord, what he told you to do. And in that day, let's go to Isaiah chapter 4. No, let me finish Zechariah 14, Shalakia. And half of the city shall go forth in captivity, and the residue of the people shall be cut off from the city. So there's going to be a lot of insurrection out here, man, a lot of chaos. No governance, man. People that's going to be doing whatever they want to do, till the government come in and, shut everything down. then they're going to bring in their new system. Isaiah 4:1. And in that day 7 women shall take hold of one man, saying, we will eat our own bread and wear our own apparel. Only let us be called by thy name and take away our reproach. And reproach means, that proud spirit, them being on a high horse, thinking that they're better than, being wicked. And they said, please forgive us, because they're looking for a man of the Lord, man. And, they're asking us, to take them up under their wing, for protection. Because the men of the Lord is going to have substance during that time, because the Lord is going to look out for his elect men. And you kind of see it coming to it now, man. A lot of these women are seeing now the Lord has put a spirit on Jake men to kind of, stop simping behind these women, man. And it's a lot of these women now saying that they don't have it like they had it before, because they know that they were puffed up before. Because men, you have a big block type woman, big shoulders and wide body, and she to the point where she felt proud because men were still hitting on her. Somebody was hitting it. Dudes are still chasing behind them. But now, Jake has kind of fell back, man. The resources are not like it was before. Things are getting tight. A lot of these women are losing their jobs because they've been set up by Esau Edom, because a lot of those jobs they had were just given to them by the government so they can have a position over the man, that they didn't need a man. Then they talking about pulling back Section 8, EBT cards, and all those other things, man, that women relied on. These so-called independent women relied on, but that's not independence. You relied on the government. That Esau Edom became your man. You replaced your men for Esau Edom's gifts, which entail destroyed your whole family. That's why you have communities of chaos, man, where that run by these women, these so-called ghettos, man, where the men are not in the house. 2nd Ezra chapter 16. O my people, hear my word. Make you ready for the battle. And in those evils, be even as pilgrims on the earth. So that means, you're talking about being pilgrims, that means you're not going to have a homestead. You're not going to have a house that you're going to hold down, man. You might have to get you a bug out bag or just take off. You're going to have to rely on the spirit. Especially those of us that's in this truth, man. We're going to have to rely on our faith that's going to guide us, man. The Lord is going to put us in a good place, even during the time of chaos. So, go back to 2nd Ezra chapter 15. Verse 11. But I will bring them with a mighty hand and a stretched out arm, and smite Egypt with plagues, as before, and I will destroy all the land thereof. Egypt shall mourn, and the foundations of it shall be smitten with the plagues and punishment that Yahweh shall bring upon it, and that till the ground shall mourn, and the sea shall fail through the blasting of the hail, and with the fearful constellation. So it's going to be a famine, man. The Lord is going to orchestrate it. But Esau Edom is also orchestrated too, because he's going to use the food as a means of control. Woe to the world and them that dwell therein, for the sword and their destruction draweth nigh. And one people shall stand up and fight against another, and the sword is in their hand. And the sword, talking about the sword, is the modern day gun. Now, the sword now has become the gun. People got long guns and all these things. That's the modern day sword. And it's talking about when people fight against another people. That's talking like a civil war, man. It sounds like insurrection. For there shall be sedition amongst men, and evading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor their princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power. A man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able. For because of their pride, the cities shall be troubled, and the houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. A man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword, and spoil their goods because of the lack of bread and for great tribulation. Behold, saith Yahweh, I will call together all the kings of the earth to reverence me. which are from the rising of the sun from the south and from the east in Libanus, and turn themselves one against another, and repay the things that they have done to them. So, we look forward to these things about to happen, man. Like I said, the digital currency, with the CBDC, or they call the stable coin, which I think the act that he's passed is called the Genius Act, which is the acronym for, forget what it is, the acronym is for, but that's what it's dealing with, them bringing us into a digital age, a digital system. Where they're going to merge man with machine, man, with this digital system. You're going to have to take that chip, and it's going to have to be inside your body when it all said is done. Like I said, they're going to shut the system down, take everything over digitally, and then eventually everybody's going to have to be C-hip. And you just see it all come together. I think it's Robert Kennedy. He's pushing for everybody to have these wearable chips, and then eventually it's going to be implanted in you. But Lord will, man, this lesson's edifying. We see things are moving fast, and that's the will of the Lord, man. Like I said, he's going to speed things up. And Lord will, we be out of here within a year or so, man. Things definitely going into action thanks to DJ Trump, man. He's pushing these things. We don't run from the chaos, we run to it, because we run by faith, man, not by fear. And Lord will, man, we able to endure it to the end and be counted worthy. With that, say shalom.